So I'm going to be describing and demonstrating the Super Duty slip roller with adjustable positions. So first, make sure that it's mounted securely to your work table, and then take your piece of material, and with this model, the adjuster bolt pushes down, so you need to lift the roller all the way up and put your piece of material in. Make sure it's centered, and then using a standard 3/4 ratchet or wrench, gently tighten the adjuster bolts. And it's important that you do the same amount on each side. So line up your ratchet at this position and go 360 degrees. Then, using the bolts on the end of the center roller and only using the tightening feature of your ratchet the roller such that the workpiece goes through the roller. So this is set up in the widest position to give the greatest amount of force that you can apply to the material. So in this position, you may have to do greater increments downwards. So I'll go 2 rotations downwards and 2 rotations downwards. And then coming back the other way, you need to switch sides. So here, I'll go here. Okay. And do this again. 1, 2. 1, 2. And roll your workpiece back through. So if you put the camera at this end, you should be able to see the curve in the workpiece. And bring the camera over here. The adjustment points have a lower setting for thicker materials. This upper setting can handle materials at 1/4 of an inch thick, and the lower setting can handle materials at 1 inch thick. And so now I'm going to move these rollers inwards. Okay, so now I have adjusted these rollers to the innermost setting, and the clearance between the rollers is now about 3/16 of an inch. So you should be able to get a tight radius. And once again, you lift up the center roller, put your workpiece in, make sure it's straight, and then tighten evenly on each of the side adjuster bolts. So one way that you can make sure they're about level is putting your eyeball straight in line with here and looking at that gap. Piece through. I'll go 1 full rotation, 1 full rotation, and back. So you make sure to stop where your workpiece is right on top center of the roller, like you see right there. So that was pretty easy, so I'm going to go 1.5 rotations. So 1.5 rotations, and then roll it back. So I'll do that same thing again. 1.5. 1.5. And rolls it back. A little bit further. Oh. That's about 2 rotations. you may need to help it through a little bit, so I'm applying some pressure downwards here. And that's about as far as it's going to go. You're always going to have these flat spots on the end. And so when you get close with this piece touching this piece, I usually cut these off with an angle grinder or bandsaw and then put it back in, and you can keep rolling and get a tighter radius. So this is one way that you can cut these off. And then continue rolling. So as you can see, you can get some very tight rolls. And so when you have rolled your piece such that you can't get out of the roller, you'll need to disassemble this top roller. So first you release the tension on the adjuster bolts, and it helps if you have a ratchet or an impact of some sort. Zip. Okay. So the tension has been removed, and then you take the bolt out of the ends. And slide your workpiece out.